Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today we have a very important update on the crypto markets, but guys, and this is very important, make sure you check out my Instagram if you haven't done it yet. A link is going to be down below, and let's dive right into the content for today. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Jeremy Hogan said this over on Twitter. That chart, what are we referring to? Well, Wrath of Kahneman has shared this over on Twitter. This JP Morgan report asks the question many have about XRP and Ripple. They get this name wrong. Given Metcalfe's law and the power of network, why is XRP so correlated with Bitcoin? Also notes most crypto loans are taken to buy more crypto. Let's check it out. The Ripple effect. The Ripple effect. Ripple reported fivefold growth in remittance transactions between 2019 and 2020. But if that's the case, why is Ripple still trading so closely with Bitcoin as shown below? Wouldn't Ripple's separate and distinct use case result in a separate and distinct return profile from Bitcoin? It hasn't thus far. From what we can tell, Ripple has been working with banks to help them build infrastructure to make cross-border payments, but few are using Ripple's actual crypto to execute them. Now, one thing, guys, to quickly note here is that is officially wrong. We know that about 20% of the volume that Ripple does actually utilizes XRP. I think a boat is like a beeping or something outside. I'm not exactly sure. I can't see a big boat. Maybe. Yeah, there's boats literally. Whatever. All right. Story for a different day. I wanted to say Ripple says 20% of their volume utilizes XRP, so I'm not exactly sure how they can speak and say there are few that are using the actual crypto. Now, Attorney Jeremy actually likes to come in, and I think this is actually rather interesting. I straight the bat thought of two things. One, if JP Morgan quotes that the XRP price is so correlated to Bitcoin, this is actually extremely bullish for the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. Because again, guys, think with me here. Think with me. If the SEC is trying to say that Ripple manipulates or Ripple's the main cause of the XRP's price increase or changes, then it really doesn't make a lot of sense if literally JP Morgan comes to a different conclusion also, right? At least that's what I've been thinking. So what Jeremy Hogan said, let's quickly read it. That chart shows an almost perfect correlation between Bitcoin and XRP, except for right after the SEC filed its lawsuit. Also, the report itself is a great read. By the way, guys, if you're still watching this video right now, make sure you press that like button as it helps the videos grow, helps the channel grow, and just generally speaking, shows a lot of appreciation. You know, I appreciate it a lot. I think about this. When I go to bed, I think about you pressing that like button. So don't think it doesn't matter. Every single like matters, all right? Make sure you press that button. All right. Also, if you enjoy it though, right? Sorry, maybe I should add that to it. Also, the report itself is great read, except for the fact that they get the name of the token wrong. And yeah, at the end of the day, they're not really saying anything too negative about it. They're just putting up a couple of thoughts and throwing up a little ball. And at the end of the day, since it's a bullish thing for the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, I can't really complain about this. And indeed, they do call it Ripple price, which of course this is not Ripple stock, so I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about right here. However, it is sad, but it is the way that it goes. It is sad, but it is the way that it goes, all right? You can't look a gifted horse in the mouth. In this case here, we had a lot of good parts. One bad one is that they got the name wrong, but hey, it is what it is. That's what we're going to call it. All right, let's move on to the next thing right here. Because again, we can debate about this for a couple hours, but it ain't going to matter. All right, so Charles Gasparino, we talked about him a little bit earlier last night. I should actually go back to this because it's not syncing properly yet again. Man, I today went to the store to actually, because I'm just waiting while it's loading. You know what? I'll come back when it's loaded. All right, it is now loaded. And what this video is basically about that Charles Gasparino just shared over on his channel, or his Twitter, I should say, is actually rather interesting. I could see it two ways. He is basically talking here about how people are speculating on the XRP price. I can literally show it to you guys.
There's really not much there. So I think what's going on here is you see the market betting on this case. I would say this, David, if the SEC loses the XRP case, you could see XRP rip. You can also see Bitcoin rip, because that would be an indication to the markets that the government cannot regulate broadly the crypto business. So just keep
And again, there I don't really have anything to add, as I completely agree. But what I do have a little bit to add, I guess, for or on is the critical part of this entire little speech, which is the fact that XRP is pumping because partially people are speculating on the crypto. I honestly don't think that any SEC lawsuit decision just now had effect on the price over the short term. Why am I thinking that? Well, because I would say in very bullish scenarios, people actually do tend to buy in or sell because of that. And generally speaking, I guess I should say people would buy in when the narrative is already bullish. And so when a bullish announcement comes out, they're more inclined to actually buy in and pull the trigger, basically. And the same thing goes for a bearish scenario with a bearish event. But generally speaking, when the market was a little bit bearish just now, not extremely bullish, I don't think that a positive sign all of a sudden made people buy in like crazy. Because again, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, that is the only big thing that people could have instantly started to buy in for was the second judge coming in and being kind of positive. But that was a couple days ago. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense as to why the price would all of a sudden pump now like crazy. You might say, oh yeah, but Bitcoin, but XRP was kind of the predecessor of everything right here. And again, what we're seeing right here for the XRP price, remember guys, there's a very high probability that within a couple of months here, when the Ripple v SEC case settles, that we're going to see this exact same thing play out again, where XRP goes on a massive rampage. And again, Bitcoin and other coins, like he just kind of quoted here, are also going to be popping off. So I'm definitely watching out for that, and I'm looking out for that. All right, let's move on. Ripple just had a report out. 2022 is going to be a very big year for crypto. Ripple leadership predicts crypto payments to dramatically grow. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. NFTs to go mainstream. Regulators to step it up. And the onset of the multi-chains future. Dig deeper. Not exactly sure why they use the little, wow, I don't know what the name for this is in English. Again, guys, I am not a native English speaker. Wow, I got a little derp right there. All right, the word I was looking for was colon. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so a little bit later, I actually want to dive very deep into this 2022, I guess, prediction from Ripple's side. I have a couple of things to add to it, but I think it will take, like, let's say 10 minutes for us to properly cover this with the additional information that I have. So guys, I'll post a video on this most likely later tonight or tomorrow. So again, if you're not subscribed just quite yet, make sure you press that button. I guarantee you won't regret it, as you can always ignore the videos, but at least you have the chance to watch them. And again, guys, critical is that you are subscribed with the notification bell on. Why? Well, what if the Ripple v SEC lawsuit all of a sudden is over? If you don't get the notification, you might be too late to get the crazy amount of gains. You got to remember, guys, we already have a strategy. Look at, by the way, our perfect top call. I digress. We already have a strategy to basically buy into XRP once once it starts to turn over. Let's put it like that. Once the case is over and the XRP price starts to rip, we have a strategy for actually buying it properly that you can't see here just now, but it's there. All right, there is a strategy that I have that I think is going to be amazing. And if you guys want to learn more about that, I have guides about it over on Patreon, but I'll definitely do another guide over on the YouTube channel here. But then again, it's very critical that you have the notification bell on. All right, now a couple other things I quickly want to add up on or say. Ripple's XRP prepares an entry into the top 5 after flipping Cardano and Solana. There's actually a very good chance that XRP somewhere throughout the day. Nah, never mind. I was thinking maybe somewhere throughout the day, XRP actually got back to the 5th position. But now that I'm looking at it, it would have needed to go up about 25% or something like that more. Yeah, no. All right, it's definitely doing good, but it didn't hit $1.10 or something along those lines. And so it's definitely not there just quite yet. However, it is interesting to watch. I definitely am enjoying this little situation for XRP, because right now, again, the price is back into the top 4 if we're talking about actual cryptocurrencies. It's out of that top 7, 6-ish that it was before, so that's already a good step. And remember, guys, XRP's dominance right now is still doing very bad if you look at it overall here. These little pumps, if we can even call them, are really not significant over a longer period of time. Really, it just is not really doing anything whatsoever. You got to remember how crazy the XRP dominoes will most likely spike once we get the lawsuit settlement. And I honestly predict it's not necessarily going to instantly take over Ethereum yet again, but there's a good chance that it's going to get at least towards half of it, or it's going to just take a lot of capital away from both of these. I honestly think it's going to rip. Because a lot of institutions are going to switch over as well. You got to remember that. Now, FTX's U.S. president says venture capital interest in crypto not slowing at all. You got to remember, the inflow in crypto will severely increase over the next couple of months. But if XRP turns out to be the first properly regulated crypto, I honestly think we can pretty easily assume that XRP is going to get a lot of the capital. Now, again, guys, I got to remind everybody, these videos are not financial advice. Everything I'm saying in these videos is purely my own opinion and my own thoughts. And again, we might be wrong. However, I don't think we actually gave anything that resembles advice even here. Yeah, I think if you can't deduce that all these things are just my own opinion, my thoughts, and that they may go wrong, please click away these videos right now and go back to, maybe, I don't want to say anything rude, but make sure you understand properly that at the end of the day, everything might look cool, everything might look right, everything might sound perfectly in order. At the end of the day, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, and it could literally be tomorrow that we lose every single dollar we have in the crypto space. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. But can it? Yes, and that's of course something that I'm aware of. At the end of the day, not financial advice as well when I say that I don't think the normal financial system is that safe either, and I wouldn't even be surprised if we really put in the numbers that the euro or US dollar is not necessarily safer than crypto is. It just depends on how you view it and what different categories you base it upon. But there's definitely a point to be made right there. Then again, those are just my thoughts, not financial advice. Because I think most financial advisors will tell you that the euro or dollar is a lot safer than crypto. And if we're talking about volatility, for right now it's the case, but you never know about the future, and that's again the little way off that you got to make. It's a difficult one. All right, and then Tesla loses $141 million on Bitcoin bet. Not exactly sure what this is all about. It's literally that Tesla is making a little loss right now in the crypto that they bought. Okay. Yeah. Who cares? I don't know why you would care at all, to be honest with you. So, yeah. So the reason I'm saying this is because they made a lot of money on their Bitcoin positions. And even though it might look a little bit bad right now, is it really? Is it really? It says here they still have about $2 billion worth in Bitcoin on its balance sheet, according to the SEC filing. They did record a $128 million gain. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is or why an article of this sort was made. I think it's just a little bit of a waste of time. So definitely don't waste your time on articles like this. Freaking stupid, Things are looking really damn juicy. Having said that, XRP is doing good in the markets. Juicy to see. A lot of the correlation with Bitcoin that we're seeing right now is juicy. And again, remember, huge institutional inflows are going to be moving into XRP if it were up to us and if we think about these things logically. So that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.